In this video, we'll go through exam questions that cover the criteria, work with simple ratio and direct proportions. You can locate the questions on the mathsmath.com website under level 1. The questions come from different exam boards. We'll start with the non-calculator questions and then we'll move to the calculator questions. Here is the first one. Linda knows the ratio of staff to dogs needs to be 1 to 15. So 1 is for staff and 15 is for dogs. The order matters. Staff, dogs. How many staff will she need for 30 dogs? So under dogs, I'm going to put 30. So what's happened? From 15, this has become 30. So it's doubled. Which means that the number of staff involved will need to be doubled as well. So 1 times 2 gives us 2. 15 times 2 gives us 30. So what you do on one side, you need to do on the other side. If you multiply by 3 on one side, you multiply by 3 on the other side as well. So how many staff will she need for 30 dogs? That is 2. A sandwich shop owner makes 1 sandwich with brown bread for every 4 sandwiches he makes with white bread. So ratio is 1 to 4. 1 is for sandwiches with brown bread and 4 is for sandwiches with white bread. Today he needs to make 600 sandwiches altogether. How many sandwiches should he make with brown bread today? So 600, that's for the sandwiches all together. So we need to create a third column here, like the totals column. So 1 and 4, that is 5. So 5 units in total. If he needs to make 600 of them, what's happened? How did we get from 5 to 600? What do we multiply 5 by to get to 600? That's why we're going to do 600 divided by 5. So how many 5s fit into 6? That is 1. And we have 1 remaining. How many 5s into 10? That is exactly 2. How many 5s into 0? That is 0. So 120 times larger. So that means we multiply this by 120. 1 times 120 is 120. And 4 times 120, what is that? So if you do 2 times 120, that is 240. If you double that, it gives us 480. So 4 times 120 is 480. So he will need 120 sandwiches with brown bread and 480 sandwiches with white bread. The question is, how many sandwiches should he make with brown bread? So that is this one here, 120. We could have stopped at the point when we worked out 120 without going through the 480 because that's not been asked, but I wanted to show you the process for either of them, or for both of them. A manager wants to know the ratio of men to women in their factory. There are 135 men and 270 women working at the factory. What is the ratio of men to women? So we've got to simplify these numbers. They both finish in either 5 or 0, which suggests that they both can be divided by 5. So 135 divided by 5, what is that? How many 5s fit into 13? That is 2 of them, so we have 3 remaining. How many 5s into 35? That is exactly 7. So dividing 135 by 5 gives us 27. What if we divide 270 by 5? What do we get? How many 5s fit into 27? That is 5 of them. And we have 2 remaining. How many 5s into 20? That is exactly 4. So we get 54. Both of these are multiples of 9. So 27 divided by 9 will give us 3. 54 divided by 9 will give us 6. Now we can divide both numbers by 3. 3 divided by 3 gives us 1. 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. So the ratio is 1 to 2. If you notice at the start that 270 is double 135, you could have just gone and done 1 to 2 as well, whichever way you prefer. The table below shows the total spending of the charity in the last year. Calculate the proportion of money spent on overheads. Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. Don't let the word proportion here confuse you. All you have to do is fill this gap here in the table under proportion. So we've got the percentage given for wages, fundraising, advertising, other, and overheads. Then we need to work out. So if we add these percentages and then take the answer away from 100, which is the total 100%, then we should be able to fill the gap. So 24.15 plus 11.35 plus 5% plus 17.55%. So 5 and 5 is 10 and the 5 is 15. 5 down, 1 carried over. 1 and 3 is 4. And the 5 is 9. And the 1 we carried over, that makes 10. So 0 down, 1 carried over. 4 and 1 is 5, and the 5 is 10, and the 7 is 17, and the 1 18. So 8 down, 1 carried over. 2 and 1 is 3, and the 1 is 4, and the 1 is 5. So 58.05%. So taking that away now from 100, so we need to take away 5 from the 0, which means we've got to borrow. But we can't borrow from the 0 here, or this. So we're going to borrow 1 from the 10, make it a 9. So that gives this 1. So this one, this digit here, becomes 10, which means that the 0 here now can borrow from that. So I'm going to borrow 1, make it 9, give it to this. Now, final step is that this digit here can borrow 1. Make it 9 here, and this becomes 10. So 10 take away 5 gives us 5. 9 take away 0 is 9. 9 take away 8 is 1. 9 take away 5 is 4. So 41.95%. To double check, you can just add 41.95 and 58.05. Does it add up to 100? If it does, you've got the calculation done correctly. Diana wins a prize of £95.50. Diana and Billy share the prize in the ratio 4 to 1. How much do they each get? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So we've got a ratio of 4 to 1. 4 is for Diana and 1 is for Billy. And that is 5 units in total. 4 and 1 gives us 5. Because this is the total amount they're sharing, so we're going to put it under total. £95.50. So what do we multiply 5 by to get £95.50? So in other words, we're going to do £95.50 divided by 5. How many 5s fit into 9? That is just 1, and we have 4 remaining. How many 5s into 45? That is 9. Exactly 9. So we've got a decimal point here, which means we're going to transfer it to the answer now before we move to the next digit. How many 5s into 5? That is exactly 1. How many 5s into 0? That is 0. So £19.10. Or we've multiplied 5 by 19.1 to get £95.50. So that means both of these two numbers, 4 and 1, need to be multiplied by 19.1. So 1 times 19.1 is 19.1, or £19.10. And 4 lots of £19.10, what is that equal to? Four times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 9 is 36. So 6 down and 3 carried over. 4 times 1 is 4, and the 3 is 7. First number has 2 digits after the decimal point, or 2 decimal places. Whereas 4 doesn't have any decimal places because it's a whole number. So that means in total we're going to give the answer 2 decimal places. So going backwards, 1, 2. So that's where the decimal point will go. So £76.40. That's the amount that Diana gets. So we'll write them here as well. If you add them together, they should add up to £95.50. That's a way of checking the answer as well. There is a ratio of 6:1 red marbles to white marbles. There are 42 red marbles in total. How many white marbles are there? Show your calculations and the workings out here. So the ratio is 6:1. 6 is for red and 1 is for white. So there are 42 red marbles. So under red, under the R, I'm going to put 42. So we need to figure out the number of white marbles. To get from 6 to 42, what do we multiply 6 by? And that is 7, because 7 times 6 gives us 42. So we need to do the same on the other side. 1 times 7 gives us 7. So 7 is the number of white marbles. It will take 48 hours of work to complete the garden. The garden must be finished in 3 days. Each gardener works for 8 hours per day. How many gardeners are needed? So that is 48 hours in total. And the garden must be finished in 3 days. So if we divide 48 by 3, should give us the number of hours per day needed to be done. How many 3's fit into 4? That is 1, and we have 1 remaining. How many 3's into 18? That is exactly 6. So 16 hours per day need to be done. Each gardener works 8 hours per day, so that is 16 divided by 8 gives us 2. So 2 gardeners are needed. Carly is shopping for things for her son's birthday party. Carly is buying paper plates and paper cups. Plates cost £1.50 for a pack of 8. Cups cost £1.20 for a pack of 6. Carly wants 40 plates and 24 cups. Carly says the total cost will be less than £12. Is she correct? You must show your working. So, for the plates, we've got £1.50 for 8 plates. That's the cost. Now, she wants 40 plates. So what do we multiply 8 by to get 40? That is 5. So 40 is 5 times larger than 8. So we need to multiply £1.50 by 5 as well, as the cost will go in proportion. The more you buy, the more you'll have to pay. So £1.50 times 5. 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 5 is 25, so we put 5 down and 2 carried over. 5 times 1 is 5, and the 2, that's 7. We've got 1, 2 decimal places in the first number, and none in the second number as it's a whole number. So we're going to give the answer 2 decimal places, £7.50. That is for the plates. Now looking at the cups, we've got cost and cups. So that is £1.20 for 6 cups. She's going to need 24 cups. How do we get from 6 to 24? By multiplying by 4. 6 times 4 is 24. So we need to do the same here. So £1.20 times 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 decimal places in total, so £4.80. Now, the total, she's saying, will be less than £12. Is that correct? So what we're going to do is add £7.50 and the £4.80. 0 and 0 is 0. 5 and 8 is 13. So 3 down, 1 carried over. 7 and 4 is 11. And the 1 is 12. So that is £12.30, which is not less than £12. So we're going to say, is she correct? No. Carly makes a drink by mixing orange juice and water in the ratio 1 to 6. She uses 2 liters of orange juice. How many liters of the drink does she make? So the ratio is 1 to 6. 1 is for orange juice and 6 is for water. So she uses 2 liters of orange juice. So under orange juice, I'm going to put 2 liters. So that's doubling the amount times 2. So we're going to multiply this by 2 as well to get 12. So that is 2 liters of orange juice mixed with 12 liters of water. Question is, how many liters of the drink? So that's in total. The 2 and the 12, which is 14 liters. Now we move into the calculated questions. Penny is the manager of a nursery for preschool children. She knows that the ratio of the number of adults to the number of children must be 1 to 8. Penny has 56 children at the nursery. Work out the number of adults Penny needs for 56 children. So the ratio is 1 to 8. So 1 is for the number of adults and 8 is for the number of children. So she has 56 children at the nursery. We've got to work out the number of adults. How do you get from 8 to 56. What do you multiply 8 by? That is 7, because 8 times 7 gives us 56. So we need to do the same on the other side. 1 times 7 is 7. So 7 is the number of adults needed. Use a reverse calculation to show a check of your answer. The way we've done it in this first part is 8 times 7 equals 56. The reverse of that would be 56 divided by 8 equals 7, or 56 divided by 7 equals 8. Emily is making sausage rolls for a party. She has this list of ingredients. Emily wants to make 75 sausage rolls for the party. Ready-made pastry comes in packs. There are 500 grams of pastry in each pack. Emily thinks 9 packs of ready-made pastry is the smallest number she needs to make 75 sausage rolls. Is Emily correct? Show why you think this. So we've got the ingredients for 4 sausage rolls: sausage meat, egg, red onion, ready-made pastry. The only one we're interested in is ready-made pastry. So for 4 sausage rolls, you need 250 grams of ready-made pastry. So the ratio of weight of ready-made pastry to the number of servings is 250 to 4. She needs to make 75 sausage rolls. So how do we get from 4 to 75? What do we multiply 4 by? So we're going to do 75 divided by 4, which is 18.75. So 4 times 18.75 gives us 75. So we need to do the same on the other side. So 18.75 times 250 gives us 4,687.5 grams. That's how many grams of ready-made pastry are needed. There are 500 grams in each pack, so if we divide this by 500, it should give us the number of packs. That is 9.375. Packs. So it's more than 9 packs. And again, you can't get part of a pack, so you've got to get 10 packs. So is Emily correct? We're going to say no. She needs 10 packs. John asks his customers to rate the cafe. The customers give 4 times as many good ratings as excellent ratings. The customers also give 3 times as many excellent ratings as satisfactory ratings. 60 customers rated the cafe as good. How many customers rated the cafe as satisfactory? So 4 times as many good ratings, so 4 for good, as excellent ratings. So 1 for excellent. So the ratio of good to excellent ratings is 4 to 1. If 60 customers rated the cafe as good, so under good we'll put 60. What do we multiply 4 by to get 60? So we'll do 60 divided by 4, which is 15. So 4 times 15 gives us 60, so we'll do the same here. 1 times 15 is 15. So the customers also give 3 times as many excellent ratings as satisfactory ratings. So excellent, that is 3 to 1. That is in relation to satisfactory ratings. So now we know the number of excellent ratings, which was 15. And we're going to use that to work out the number of satisfactory ratings. How do you get from 3 to 15? We multiply by 5. So we do the same here. 1 times 5 is 5. So the number of satisfactory ratings is 5. To check that we've done this correctly, it says the customers also give 3 times as many excellent ratings as satisfactory ratings. So if satisfactory ratings, that is equal to 5, 3 times that is 15. Now the customers give 4 times as many good ratings as excellent ratings. So if excellent is 15, 4 times that is 60. And that's what we have here for good ratings. So that shows we've done this correctly. Natalie packs children's clothes into boxes. Each box is a cube with side lengths 50 centimeters. The clothes weigh 350 grams per 500 cubic centimeters. Calculate the weight of the clothes in each box when the box is full. Give your answer in kilograms. So the side lengths of the cube are 50 centimeters, 50 centimeters, 50 centimeters. So this links to volume, 50 times 50 times 50 will give us the capacity, the volume of the cube, that is 125,000 cubic centimeters. Okay, so the clothes weigh 350 grams per 500 cubic centimeters, which is the volume or the space they take. So what about 125,000 cubic centimeters? So what do we multiply 500 by to get to 125,000? So we can divide 125,000 by 500, which is 250. So doing the same on the other side, 250 times 350 gives us 87,500. That is grams. We've got to give our answer in kilograms. In 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. So 87,500 grams, if we divide that by 1,000, should give us 87.5 kilograms. Volunteers are going to help children in a home. The ratio of boys to girls in the home is 1 to 3. There are 80 children in total. So that's 80 in total. 75% of the boys and 40% of the girls are under 10. How many boys and how many girls are under 10? So first of all, we need to work out how many of them are boys and how many of them are girls, because we don't know that. So we've got the ratio 1 to 3. Total number of units is 4 because 1 add 3 is equal to 4. And the total number of children is 80. So how do you get from 4 to 80? So 80 divided by 4 gives us 20. So we'll do The same here, 1 times 20 is 20, 3 times 20 is 60. And 20 add 60 gives us 80. So that shows we've done the calculation correctly so far. Now we've got 75% of the boys being under 10. So boys, that's 20 of them. What is 75% of 20? It's like 3/4 of it. So 75 divided by 100 times 20 gives us 15. So 15 boys are under 10. And we've got 40% of the girls being under 10. So what is 40% of 60? So 40 divided by 100 times 60 gives us 24 girls under 10. 15 boys and 24 girls. It is important that reptiles are given the correct diet. The calcium to phosphorus weight ratio in their food should be close to 2 to 1. The table shows the weight in milligrams of calcium and phosphorus in 1 scoop of food. Which food has the better calcium to phosphorus ratio for reptiles? Show your working. Okay, so we've got a ratio of 2 to 1. 2 is for calcium and 1 is for phosphorus. So this tells us that the amount of calcium should be double the amount of phosphorus, or something close to that. So if we check the examples we're given for watermelon, 9, double 9, that is 18. This is not 18, this is 4 times 9. So this is a ratio of 4 to 1. 80, double 80, that is 160, so that is a ratio 2 to 1. So cauliflower wins. A charity asked people to donate 40p a day to sponsor rooms for people sleeping rough. The charity hopes to raise £1 million a year through these donations. How many people would have to donate 40p a day to raise at least £1 million for the charity in a year? Use the conversion. 365 days equals 1 year. Okay, so in one day, they'll donate 40 pence. In fact, as we need to get the answer in pounds, I'm just going to convert this into pounds now. Amount. Okay. So in one day, 40 pence. 365 days, which is for a year. What is the amount? To get from 1 to 365, we multiply by 365. So we'll do the same here. 0.4 times 365 gives us 146. So £146 per year from one person. They need to raise £1 million a year. So if we do 1 million divided by £146, it will give us how many people need to donate. Which is 6,849.3 2. I'm going to round it there for now, because we need to round to a whole number, because we're talking about people. We can't have, part of a person. Obviously, rounding this down to 6,849 is not going to be enough, because we won't have a million. So we need to round it up to 6,850 people. It will be slightly over, but it doesn't really matter, because if you go down, it will not be enough. This is Reg's cake recipe. Basic cake recipe for 20 times 20 times 8 centimeter square tin. 220 grams butter or soft margarine, 220 grams caster sugar, 4 eggs, lightly beaten, 220 grams self-raising flour, sifted. The dinosaur cake tin that Reg wants to use has a capacity of 2.4 litres. 1 millimetre is equal to 1 cubic centimetre. If Reg uses the dinosaur tin, how many grams of butter will he need? Okay, so the dinosaur cake tin has a capacity of 2.4 litres. So if he uses that tin, how many grams of butter will he need? So 2.4 litres, we're gonna convert that into cubic centimeters. So if 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter, what about 2.4 liters? 2.4 liters. We need to write it in milliliters here, because we've got to keep the unit the same. So in 1 litre there are 1000 milliliters. In 2.4 litres that will be 1000 times 2.4, which is 2400 milliliters. So to get from 1 to 2400, we multiply by 2400. So we'll do the same on the other side, and that gives us 2400 cubic centimeters. The recipe we have, that is for 20 times 20 times 8, which is 3200 cubic centimeters. How does that compare to 2400, which is the volume of the dinosaur tin? That is smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a ratio here. For 3200 cubic centimeters, 220 grams of butter are needed. What about 2400 cubic centimeters? How much butter is needed? What do you multiply 3200 by to get 2400? So what I'm going to do is 2400 divided by 3200, which is 0.75. So we'll do the same here. Times 220 gives us 165 grams of butter. Dave and Sue are community centre workers. They share the opening of the centre each day. Their manager shares this work out between Dave and Sue in the ratio 3:1. She makes this rota for the first 16 days of the month. She needs to complete the rota for the next 5 days. Complete the rota. So the ratio that they need to share the work out between is 3 to 1. So 3 is for Dave and 1 is for Sue. So that is 4 units in total. So to get to 16 days, 4 times 4 gives us 16. So 3 times 4 is 12, 1 times 4 is 4. So we're looking at 12 days for Dave and 4 days for Sue. So for Dave, we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. So we need 2 more. And for Sue, we've got 1. So we need 3 more. Now, we're not given any more information, so we could complete this in different ways. So I could put just Dave, Dave twice, and then Sue, Sue, Sue. So any combination is possible as long as you put 2 days for Dave and 3 days for Sue. Sarah and Ali share £352 in the ratio 1 to 3. How much is Sarah's share? So ratio is 1 to 3. 1 is for Sarah and 3 is for Ali. So that is 4 units in total. And in total they have £352 to share in between them. So how do you get from 4 to 352? So I'm going to do 352 divided by 4, which is 88. So 4 times 88 gives us 352. So I'm going to do the same here, times 88. Which one are we interested in? It's Sarah, so it's this one. So 1 times 88 is 88. So it's 88 pounds that Sarah gets. There are 600,000 people living in Coventry and Wolverhampton combined. So 600,000. The populations are split in the ratio 7 to 5. How many people live in Wolverhampton? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So ratio is 7 to 5. 7 is for Coventry and 5 is for Wolverhampton. In total, that is 12 units, and the total population for both of them is 600,000. How do you get from 12 to 600,000? So 600,000 divided by 12 gives us 50,000. So we need to multiply by 50,000 here as well. Question is, how many people live in Wolverhampton? So it's this one here. 5 times 50,000 is 250,000. That's the answer. Jack and Billy share £210 in the ratio 1 to 5. How much does Billy get? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So ratio is 1 to 5. 1 is for Jack and 5 for Billy. And they have £210 altogether. That's why we need this totals column. Only when we're talking about totals. If you were given the amount that Jack has and need to work out the amount that Billy has, or vice versa, then you don't need the totals column. So 1 and 5, that is 6 units in total. and they have £210 to share. So how do you get from 6 to 210? So 210 divided by 6 gives us 35. So we do the same here. 5 times 35 is £175. That's how much Billy gets. Show how you could check your answer to question 12. So if I add Jack's amount as well, which is 1 times 35, and that gives us 35. So £35, add 175. Does it give us 210? If it does, that shows we've done it correctly. Yes, it does. So it's a way of checking. Jared owns a bakery. He receives an order for party cakes to serve 72 people. He has this list of ingredients. Party cake ingredients serves 12 people, whereas he needs it for 72 people. 400 grams flour, 400 grams butter, 375 grams sugar, 6 eggs. Jared has 2 3/4 kilograms of flour. How much flour will Jared have left over if he bakes enough cakes for everyone at the party? Give the units in your answer. Show your calculations and the workings out here. So, for 12 people, 400 grams of flour are needed. What about 72 people? So what do we multiply 12 by to get to 72? 72 divided by 12 gives us 6. So we need to multiply this by 6 as well. 6 times 400 gives us 2,400 grams, that is. So 2,400 grams. How does that compare to 2 3/4 kilograms? So in 1 kilogram there are 1,000 grams. So 2 kilograms, that will be 2,000 grams, and 3/4. 3/4 of 1,000, what is that? So 1,000 divided by 4 times 3 gives us 750. So 2 3/4 will be 2,750 grams. He only needs 2,400, so if we do 2,750 take away 2,400 gives us the difference. That is 5, 3. So 350 grams, and we can double check that. If we do 350, add 2,400, and that gives us 2,750. So answer is 350 grams extra. Jack will exchange some English pounds for Turkish lira. 1 pound is equal to 7.38 Turkish lira. Jack says, I want 6,500 British lira to take on holiday. Work out the number of pounds Jack will need to exchange for Turkish lira. Give your answer correct to the nearest pound. So the ratio is 1 pound to 7.38 Turkish lira. So if he wants 6,500 Turkish lira, so we need to put it under Turkish lira. We're going to need to divide 6,500 by 7.38, which is 880.76. So we multiply 1 by 880.76, which is 880.76. So that is £880.76. At a climbing centre, there must be at least one member of staff for every 7 climbers. So the ratio is 1 to 7. There are 6 members of staff for one session. So that's going to go under members of staff. 23 climbers have booked for this session. Work out how many more climbers can book for this session. So to get from 1 to 6, we multiply by 6. So we need to do the same here. 7 times 6 is 42. So 42 is the maximum number of climbers that can book this session. And 23 of them have booked already. So the question is, how many more climbers can book? So 42, take away 23. Gives us 19. So 19 more climbers can book the session. Brandon works in a bakery. Brandon uses scone mix to make scones. He needs 360 grams of scone mix to make 8 scones. So scone mix is 360 grams to make 8 scones. Brandon wants to make 40 scones and has 200 grams of scone mix. How much more scone mix does he need? So to get from 8 to 40, we multiply by 5, so we need to do the same here. 360 times 5 gives us 1,800 grams of scone mix. He already has 200 grams, so if we do 1,800 take away 200 gives us 1,600 grams. So that's how much more he needs. And this is the end of the questions.